Hi guys, this is Bruce from the Kokono Camping. Today I'm going to introduce you guys the Wiglo lt4 tent of Bergans. Although it's not very famous here in Korea since there's no official distributor, this tent is loved by many people from Europe as a classical brand of Norway. Bergans is a brand with history over 100 years in Norway, and Wiglo lt4 tent, which I'm going to introduce you today, had proven its quality and performance by winning 3 awards in 2008 when the tent was first launched. Now, before start pitching and reviewing the tent, let's take a brief look at the specification of this tent. The Wiglo lt4 tent is a TP dome style tent that utilizes the advantages of TP tent and dome style, maximizing the room spaces by improving the disadvantages of a regular TP tent. So I would say its best use is for the auto camping with the minimal setting, or you can carry it along on backpacking when you have a large group of people. This tent comes out in 2 sizes, the lt4 which focuses more on weight, so it can be used for backpacking purposes as well. The lt6 on the other hand seems to be fit in mainly for use in auto camping only. The fabric fly and inner tent are made of 40 denier ripstop nylon, and the skin is coated with silicone both inside and out, which most of many expensive tents also apply. The floor material is made of 70 denier nylon. Waterproof rating is 3000 mm for the fly and 5000 mm for the floor, so it can support on any bad weather. Now for the poles, 6000 DAC aluminum poles are applied with thickness of 11 mm for utilizing the tent in all seasons. The pole's thickness of the 3-season tent is 9 mm in general, so 11 mm thick is enough to withstand a midwinter blizzard. But of course, the thicker the pole, the heavier the tent it will get. The size of Wiglo lt4 is 4 m wide, 3.5 meters long, and 1.8 meters high, that 4 people can comfortably use it when the inner tent is installed. And it also may fit up to 6 people after removing the inner tent. The weight is 6 kilograms including the inner tent, and 4 kilograms without the inner. So I can't say it's a light tent, but if you and several people go camping as a group, it can be brought along in your backpack for shelter use, dividing up some other loads with your friends. So now, let's check out the detailed review of the tent with setup video. So first, you need to assemble 3 side poles that will be the side of the tent, and 1 main pole that will become the center pillar of the tent. Then insert 3 assembled poles into an outer skin by inserting a pole into a pour cup. Actually, it took a little more push through than I expected and needed more power. And as for the steps of assembly, some people pack down the stakes first and install the pole afterwards, while some people do it the other way around. Either way will work just fine, but I recommend to first pack down, then install the poles afterwards if it's windy outside. And I got some support here. As you can see in the video, you can install 2 poles from one side, and the last one from the other, since there are 3 poles in total. The stakes also came out as a lightweight, durable pack. You will need a minimum of 9 packs for the setup.
그러면 잘 카메라에 나오는데.
Once you have put all the packs down, You can go inside the tent and erect the center pole. The top of the tent has an extra padded treatment so that the skin does not get damaged. Installation is finished once the center pole is erected.
끝. 이제 나가자.
The entrance here is overlapped with the extra skin and velcro to block the water seeping in through the zipper. And how it holds poles is by pole cups, as I explained earlier. There are also straps for the poles to adjust your tension. The other side of the pole is dead end, so you have to look carefully at the location of the hole when installing the poles. One thing that was uncomfortable, poles got cut in the middle of skin while inserting it, so you have to come back to the other side again to straighten it up. But the color and the logo are fabulous. A tent skirt cannot be fixed. So on windy days, it can be very noisy when skirt waggles back and forth. There are 3 ventilation windows at the top. But it's not reachable from outside, and it looks like rain might get in through this window.
전체가 나오게?
Another downside I found, the tent came up with regular rubber band to roll up and fix the tent skin, which I think could get lose its tension after a time. Well, I think it could have been better if we could use a cord lock here. Nice wide view from the inside. Well, you can't stand inside the tent, unfortunately. As you can see in the video, it provides quite a room space. I think it can take maybe up to 6 people if you use it as a shelter. The entrance guideline is reinforced with the extra material to make it strong and withstand the wind. And 3 guidelines are provided on each side of the tent, also with the extra reinforcement. Total of 9 guideline points are provided, so you can firmly sustain the tent in any severe weather. It really has a great openness. Now let's get to the inner tent. Setting up the inner tent is as simple as just hooking up inner tent skin on links attached inside the tent. To install the inner tent, Center pole should be removed first and then reinstall again after setting up the inner tent. And since there are a lot of inner hooks, it takes quite some time to link it up.
어떤 것들로?
In the same way as before, set up the center pole.
뭐야?
For top ventilation, you just have to pull the string to open and close the ventils.
세근데.
The inner tent also needs to be fastened with stakes, so it actually requires a lot more packs down than you think. It has wide open inner space, the inner tent has both mesh and solid panel, so you can use it for all seasons.
메쉬만 사용 가능하게 되어 있고요.
It's large enough to accommodate up to 6 people. 3 people can spaciously use this tent with all luggages inside. Inner floor is also reinforced with extra material to prevent the damages on the floor. There are a lot of rings in many sides, so it's good to hang things around. Another point, there are 2 rubber bands for fixing the skin at the main entrance, but only 1 rubber band on the other 2 sides, which I'm not sure why they are designed this way. It has 3 wide open doors, which allows large amount of airflows through the tent, so I think it'll be really cool even in the midsummer. The inner tent material looks like it's made out of breadth over poly. And has enough storage spaces at each side of the entrance. I think the zipper location could have been better. Had to reach out my hand far to the end to open up the door.
이렇게 손이
It's also not easy to open up the tent door with one hand unless you fix the inner tent on the floor.
인어는 이렇게 잘 넣으시면 되고 넣으면 되고.
Like I said before, I cannot stand inside the tent. You can open the ventilation from inside with the zipper. Many tents apply bathtub floor design to prevent rain coming into the tent as well as water seeping in through the seams. But Wiglo has a flat floor, so the water may seep through the seam ceiling or the rain may come in from the outside. The biggest drawback that I thought above the all is that the time for setting up. It took a lot longer than I expected, as you need to pack down numbers of stakes in order to fully set up the tent, which I think was not so much of my type. Instead, good outlooks and design can compensate a little. So today, I have reviewed and showed you how to install a Wiglo lt4 tent. This tent provides large interior spaces by making the use of the dead space on the side, which is the weakness of the traditional teepee tent, along with the moderate weight and good looking outfit, which can be used for both backpacking and minimal camping when you go out camping with a group of people. Though I found there were some downsides of some details during setup, since there is little information about this tent on YouTube. I hope that this video will be a little help to those who are interested in the Wiglo lt4 tent by referring this video. So that's the end of today's video. Please like and subscribe my channel if you found this information helpful.